Hey, you, I have a question. How many times has this happened to you? You spent hours, days, weeks grinding for your dream item, saving up hundreds of thousands of diamonds, only for the item to unexpectedly and randomly dramatically rise in value and become severely out of reach. You open Tradery only to be made immediately nervous by the rising prices of accessories, halos, and anything adjacent, and had all your motivation wiped from you in the very same moment. You look up the price of an item only to find that it's extortionate, and suddenly the desire to have it slips away. Have you been driven to the brinks of insanity at the hands of greed, forced to accept defeat and give up on your dream purely because of the malicious, avaricious intentions of others? Is there a man in your family who said you'd fail? Yeah, I've been there too, I guess. Maybe I haven't felt despair to such a level over Royale High trading, but have no fear, Genesis is here. And I have risen from my almost 2-year hiatus to come and help you, to do the work for you, and figure out how to make back those losses and find the best farming method for you. Not for your friend, not for your cousin, not for Becky, I heard us crying, but she might need some help, someone should go over and help her. Not for the demon in the corner, not for... There's a demon in the corner? I think I'm going to ignore that. My point is, I've come to help you find the best farming method that fits your routine and style best. With all these countless ways to make diamonds in this game, I've gone through all 7 layers of hell, testing them all out as fairly as possible to answer the age-old question of what is the best farming method in Royale High? 2026 July edition. Don't hold me accountable if this changes. I'm not a master game developer, I'm not a fortune teller, and I'm certainly not a farming professional. I have 24 subscribers, but here are my credentials regardless, and these are just some tips for all of you. And here's a disclaimer: if you already have a farming method that you're perfectly comfortable with and makes you a lot of money, that's great. This video will mainly just be tips for farming and testing methods to see which one is best for which kind of player. You don't have to agree because it will change per person, but watching this will save you the effort of having to go out and figure this all out yourself. So let's all say thank you, Genesis. Go on, I'm serious.
Thank you, Genesis.
I don't know, I have the feeling that you guys all sound kind of, similar. Are you guys related at all? Whatever, right. Long intro aside, let's just get straight into it, and what better place to start than the newest and most obvious implementation to farming? Campus 4. Well, before we get straight into the method, I think I should maybe clarify the method and how we're going to be conducting this quote-unquote experiment. I'll be following 3 different routines in this video. Well done if you have eyes, you already know that from the intro, but all of them will start in the exact same way, doing sleep, hygiene, hunger, and tidy textbooks beforehand. In research for alternative farming methods on TikTok, YouTube, and even diving into the archives of Reddit and Discord, I found this to be a common thread across all of them. And I agree with it, I don't have anything against it, and I do this myself when I'm farming. Keeping your stats up and maintaining them is very helpful in any routine, and I believe that no matter what routine you choose to do at the end of this video, you should always do your stats first. Going from 0 to 100 in both sleep and hygiene provides a total of 230 XP, which is almost a full level, only 105 EXP shy. Textbooks is a little bit different, as it can be done regularly throughout these routines, since I think it refreshes every 20 minutes and can be incredibly beneficial to leveling up, especially if you're good at it. But if you're not, and you know that you're not, and you know you're just going to waste time doing it, don't bother. But if you are like decent at tidy textbooks, like if you can get at least 20, just do it. Right now in the video you can see me making my farming outfit. I don't use this for Campus 4, but I do use it for Rainy Day Classroom, so I guess I'm just going to mention it now since you can see it. My farming outfit is just my avatar, the loner shirt, and a random activewear set. I use the butterfly one since it's both a sleep set and an activewear set, so if I get any sleep quests like nap time, but if I get like run the mile, I can do both. So that's why sometimes you can see me doing run the mile in my bed. I'll be doing each of these 3 methods for 1 hour and comparing them to another in terms of these statistics, or I guess criteria you could call it. We've got the following: levels completed during method, diamonds made as a result of both levels and diamond collection, fun level because nobody wants to sit there and do a boring method over and over again, accessibility meaning how easy or how difficult it is to do, and providing an overall rating out of 10. My ratings of each routine will be provided at the end of each segment, and the final segment of the video will be for comparison and final thoughts. And before someone says, oh, but 1 hour isn't enough, some methods are more effective over a longer time period. Shut the fuck up. I'm not forcing myself to do art for 3 hours straight just because you think it's more effective over long term. Let me do my own thing. Again, you don't have to agree. If you have your own farming method, go do that. That's great. Anyway, now we can actually move on to the first method instead of just you watching me do my stats. In terms of Campus 4, I don't really have anything against it besides the current layout of the map itself. The hall of the lockers, the area with like the huge pool and the fishes and the classrooms, I don't know what it's called though, flame me. And the classrooms themselves are pretty much fine. Besides the swimming pool area, everything's fine. However, I still much prefer the original Campus 4.1 layout, which in my objectively correct opinion was just a lot more functional and made Campus 4 more enjoyable and, again, functional. Removing the ability to enter class areas, the headmistress's office, or even the bathing quarters or bathrooms at any time has made Campus 4 infinitely more frustrating and less accessible to farming, because many quests can't be done after hours or even before school hours due to the areas being restricted and needed to be glitched into or just waiting access to enter. That's my main flaw of Campus 4, but besides that, it's fine. I actually find it to be quite engaging. Engaging may not be as good of a description as overstimulating, but I suppose it can be both. A major flaw of Campus 4 for me and most players that I've spoken to is how demanding it is and how you have to do so much for only little morsels of XP. You have to click this and that and click this and do that and click this and do this for maybe 30 XP total. It's honestly a bit pathetic how low the EXP rewards are for these meticulous little tasks that we have to remember where and how to do in order to maximize earnings. Frankly, it's just a bit annoying and frustrating how Campus 4 farming went from something practical and perfect to so flawed. Anyways, that's all my main critiques aside, and sorry if I sound weird, I'm starting to get a sore throat again. I feel like every single time I make a video, I'm always sick. But in terms of actual farming and functionality, I do enjoy Campus 4 as a farming method. It's engaging even if it is overstimulating, and fairly rewarding if you're good at the lessons. The issue comes with not being good at the lessons, but as you play, you just naturally get better. My most general tip for Campus 4 is that you just cannot stay still. If there was only one thing that I could say in this segment, is just constantly be moving around and doing something, because any time spent standing is time wasted, especially when you're timing yourself for a dumb fucking YouTube video and you only have an hour. But to maximize earnings, you have to be on the move constantly, which is what might make this overstimulating, but once you get used to it, you kind of become a bit more natural with it. In between lessons, always do mini quests in your inventory and collect diamonds. During after school or before school hours, do diary quests. Always be moving, just spend no fucking time dilly-dallying around. We're on a fucking mission here. Figuring out what to do when and how to do several things at once will take some time, but once you get the hang of it, you're golden. No, not the K-pop demon hunters kind. My recommendation is just to always get A's or B's in most lessons and be fast. The faster you do things, the better. I also have individual tips for each class. Not exactly a class, this one, but definitely a very key, crucial part of the day. In the morning routine, just do fucking everything. I don't care. Just click everything. Do this, that. This will probably be the most overstimulating part of your day, besides going in between lessons and having to do 16 things in your inventory. Just click and do everything, because you can get so much XP just in the morning. There have been times where I have leveled up 3 times from just doing morning things. It is crucial that you just do as much shit as possible. For the breakfast fashion show, I would recommend just getting whatever. It doesn't really matter what you get anyway. Just get whatever, eat it as fast as you can, and go do quests. Sometimes you will have quests that you can't do, because as I mentioned earlier, there are loads of areas that are restricted in Campus 4, which is really fucking annoying. But if you have any quests that you can do, go do them, and make sure that you use up your roses. And this is just a little tip from me. Don't immediately go do your quests. I know I'm being very rushed about this and telling you to do this, do that, to go do this, do it, no wasting time. But in the morning, when you are eating your breakfast and sat at the lunch table, just wait there for a little bit, because people still have to give out their roses too, and they might give it to you. So just sit there for a little bit. I don't know, converse with the people, if you will, so you can get some extra roses and get some extra diamonds. This part I'm just going to speed up because you can see me. Oh my god, I sound so sick. Sorry. Finny, this part I'm just going to speed up because you can see me doing quests, conversing with the people, and, you can see how it benefits and shit. Soon enough, it's gonna show what I do in between lessons, so you can see all the dilly-dallying that I do in between lessons, which is just I fill my inventory with things that are interactable, so the powder puff, the hairbrush, the mist from the morning routine part, and you just do them in between lessons. I typically go I do a snack, I do the brush, I do a powder puff, I sometimes do my book, I read it, and it gives me some extra XP, and in the long run it doesn't really do much in the moment, but in the long run it will add up. Anyways, here are my like individual like class recommendations. I'll try to keep these quick. Technology, I can't really speak if you're on mobile, but I'm guessing you could just spam all 4 buttons. And if you're on PC like me, I always spam the 1 and 2 keys and then click the 3rd and 4th potions. And that tends to help me sometimes to fill them in a little bit faster before they appear. And it helps me, you know, get ahead of others. But it doesn't always work, so take that with a grain of salt. And as with everything, just aim to be the fastest, because if you're not, you're gonna lose. This isn't gonna be very helpful, but I don't like study hall. I really don't like it. It's my least favourite class. I'm not good with memory. I don't know what happened. I swear I used to be decent at memory games, but something just happened in my like cognitive development, and all of a sudden I'm just shit. So my best tip for it is to be good at memory games, or write the first letters of the colours down in the chat box, or repeat them to yourself like a wanker. It should help you memorise them a little bit. I also sometimes remember the symbol instead of the colour, since I think I'm a little bit autistic personally, I'm not too sure. But I think that remembering the symbol is sometimes easier for me, because sometimes I'll look at it and I'll save a colour, but then I'll put the completely different symbol. Or I'll save a wrong colour and I'll put the wrong symbol and then get it wrong. And then guess what? I'm behind, and guess what? I'm not winning, and guess what? I get 2 XP. It takes a little bit of practice, I guess, but you know, so does everything. Also, if you see any books lying around, pick them up and put them in the little disposal, I guess, because we'll be stamping them later. When Campus 4 first came out and I had to be getting in like the swing of things to do these lessons, basketball used to boil my blood to the brink. But you know what? That's a lie. It presently boils my blood. It still pisses me off. But I've gotten kind of used to it, and I've gotten a bit better. Just stand sort of halfway in the court and aim your cursor. Sorry, this is like a PC tutorial. I'm sorry, mobile players. I don't play mobile and have no desire to. I'm sorry, this is like a PC tutorial for basketball. But just aim your cursor, or your finger, I guess, at the square or slightly above, not like the actual net itself. And if your aim is like really fucking off, try and like center yourself with the like post, I guess. It should help, and it takes a bit of practice again, but you'll get there eventually. And also remember to pick up any books behind posts, because guess what? We'll be stamping them later. And if all that I have recommended still doesn't work, what I used to do is stand on the white line right before the semicircle and aim above the post, and that also tends to help. And when you look at the little power bar, try not to go past like 0.6 or 0.7 if you're a bit further away. 6, because if you're pelting it at like 0.8 and you're surprised that it's not landing in, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. I know that this isn't something you can really control unless you're in a private server, and I don't recommend farming in a private server because you don't get as much XP, but try and be on a court on your own. It's a lot, and I mean a lot easier when you're doing this on your own, instead of having someone dilly-dallying back and forth around you, grabbing your ball, or you taking theirs. It's overstimulating. Just try and get your own. As for the student store, it's a combination of practice, memory, and speed, and apparently I'm not good at memory, but apparently I'm actually quite good at this. You'll pretty much need to memorize the location of every item, and commonly missed items tend to be the closet hangers, slippers, toothbrush and duffel bag, and the loofah. They're all around the little like locker section where the cleaning supplies are, just in case you didn't know. And over time you'll get better with memorizing these locations, and your score will just gradually come up. I tend to cap off at around 21 or 22, and as with everything, speed is key. You can't fucking pelt yourself from one corner to the next using flight, so you have to just be fast. If you can't find a specific item, but you know like the general area that it's in, just spam click the area, you'll find it eventually. Like, class can be kind of annoying at first because you can just get really frustrated being like, how the fuck are these people getting like 96 rings every round? But once you know the route to go, it's actually really easy. Again, this is a PC tutorial, sorry mobile players. Find the route at the front where the rings go up and where there's those big white arches, and you'll end up going towards the Sky Islands. And if you're on PC, sorry mobile players again, fly using shift lock or press W and A, because I think that flying at an angle makes you faster. Don't quote me on this again, I'm not a master game developer or player, I'm not a master farmer, I don't know the secret Krabby Patty recipe to, you know, getting the most EXP, but you know, I can always help. But yeah, once you're like around the Sky Islands, you can just naturally follow the route. I don't think it should be difficult to just follow the route of the like islands. If you have time at the end, then drop down and try to collect some more rings around the surface or looping around the arches. My top score using this method is 92 rings. And also remember to wear wings. Do as many stretches as possible beforehand. The little things matter here. But yeah, if you look at the scoreboard before the annoying fucking card thing shows up, you can see I got 86 rings, which is pretty good. Also, if you only play Royale High, this will not help you. But in my free time, I like to play shooting games. I play Arsenal. I dabble in the occasional murder mystery too. So the only tip that I really have for archery is practice in shooting based games like Arsenal or even murder mystery. But if you can't be bothered to do all that, or you only play pretty princess games, then just fly and just aim for everything. Try and aim in the middle of the target, or rather where the middle will be, since they move up and down or side to side. I also recommend doing the side that I'm doing in the video, which I don't know which is left or right, depends what way you're fucking looking at it, but the one with the tombstones and the glowing little rocks. I just find it to be easier. I think it's less overstimulating, and I tend to get between 3,000 to 4,000 every single time I do archery, which is, again, pretty good score. So yeah, maybe I am a master farmer. I know that the balloons or the apples on the other side can be kind of hard to aim for, but you should try to aim for them, because they do actually give the same amount as a bullseye, and you always want that. Computer is my favourite since I'm a fast typer, but I know that won't be true for everyone, and again, I'm so sorry, mobile players. I do not know what the fuck kind of tips to give you if you're doing computer or mobile. I have no idea how it even looks, how it even goes, so don't ask me, because I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm a naturally fast typer, so computer is easy for me, but
It tends to be better when I have shorter nails, and right now my nails are kind of long.
I'm gonna stop making excuses. I'm underperforming in this video, but my point is, I tend to be good at this. My top score is 62. I think all I can really recommend is that over time, you will get more familiar with the word pool, and you'll just sort of know what's coming up. I also always look at the next word rather than the current word, because I just keep typing the next word, and it saves me a lot of time. And then if you don't believe me about the fast typing thing, yeah, start believing. I don't really have any tips for English besides know how to spell. Eventually you'll get familiar with the words and know the answers, but thankfully, it's not like the words are fringe or weird. Like, you're not getting supercalifragilisticexpialidocious showing up and you have to pick the right spelling. The words are pretty common sense. Like, as we can see on the screen right now, Wednesday. You can pretty much pick out the outlier in most of them, and you can just sort of tell which one's right and which one is clearly wrong, because if you are seriously putting Wednesday for Wednesday, I think you should just get out of the room. For the last part of the day, where it's like the baton race, the fashion show, and like the dodgy thing, I don't fucking know. I don't really have much to recommend, but I do have something that might help you, but I have a feeling everyone knows this. For the fashion show, it's just filling time. If you have any inventory quests, just do them really quick. Again, time is of the essence, especially for me in this recording. So do them during the show. Use up all of your roses and try to actually look nice and wear one of those like swimming outfits. I don't know if it actually gives you extra XP. I haven't tried that, and I'm also not bothered to, because I don't think it's going to be enough to justify it. But yeah, try and use up all your roses and try actually look presentable, because you'll be shocked that people actually vote outfits that look nice. For the swinging thing, the dodgy thing, whatever the fuck it's called, open up the mermaid shop the second that you see yourself placed on the platform, and only come off it once you hear the little EXP twinkle go off, or once the scoreboard comes up. So always have your volume up. I guess you don't have to have the sound on. I keep my sound off, but I always have my volume up, at least when I'm doing this. So for the about minute that this lasts, you can just lock eyes with Harmony and look at your mermaid shop and realise that she has fucking failed you and given you this scaly top for 3 days in a row now. Harmony, I don't fucking want the top. I want the gilded cape. How long is this going to take? Anyways, I sped the footage up so we can actually get to the baton race. For the baton race, make use of that spacebar. Again, I'm sorry, mobile players, but I'm sure you have a space button. Make use of that spacebar, and key recommendation is just to leg it. Try to avoid the little flinging things, but you can also use them to your advantage, because if you're using shift lock, sorry, mobile, and you can bounce up right against the curve of the flinging thing, then, you know, it can actually catapult you quite far, and it can help you with time. But it's not like you have to be first for this. No matter what place you get, as long as you bring the baton back, you all get the same amount of XP. So yay for communism, I guess, yay for equality. Right after the little pool party that we all just had, start quest maxing again. Just go around and pretty much touch everything, do everything, and let it be known that the quests reset at 6 p.m. So go around and do everything once again, once it hits 6 p.m. This will include diamonds so you can recollect them. Once you've done all of the mini quests, go and do diary quests or tiny textbooks until 11:11, when you can go stargazing. Stargazing is easy, but you have to get kind of lucky with it. I'm always moving around on the stargazing thing, going from corner to corner looking for stars or bright stars. Sometimes you can find a rainbow star or a UFO, which gives extra XP and are accompanied by sound to help you find them. If you don't like having audio on, at least have your sound effects on, like I said. The UFO and the Rainbow Star are fairly rare, but not rare enough to never be seen, and if you farm enough, you've probably seen them before. They actually give a decent amount of extra XP. I don't know the exact amount, but they give a lot. So make sure that you're keeping an eye out, or an ear out, rather. You remember those books that we were collecting during basketball and study hall and, you know, throughout the whole day? Yeah, go stamp any of them that you found across the course of the day, and take yourself to bed afterwards. Stamping the books gives you extra XP. I don't exactly know how much. It's not like a huge amount, but I think it's enough to be significant, so I always make sure that I do it. And then I always take myself to sleep afterwards. But make sure that you're not sleeping before 11 p.m. because then you're wasting time again. You don't actually do these like a little sleep mini quest until after 12. So sleep until your little mini quest is full, and then afterwards, again, guess what we're doing? Tidy textbooks and quest maxing still. We're not wasting any time. One entire Campus 4 day, like from start to finish, runs almost about an hour. So I only had a few minutes left after my first day to do a little bit of the next morning after, so I could see the results of my work to their full potential. I didn't want to just dilly-dally around for the last like 10-ish minutes just because, oh, I did one full day and one full day is almost an hour. No, I also did the next morning of the following day, and I made sure to do quests in between as well, just to maximize earnings and to get just the, like, not quite purest, but the most successful Campus 4 run that I could. I think that my biggest complaint with Campus 4 after doing a whole hour in it is that you can't refill hygiene and sleep for some reason. They don't go down in Campus 4, which makes them wholly irrelevant besides for the starting segment when you complete them for extra XP. This sentiment won't be shared for Art and Rainy Day, which is what makes these three methods differ the most. And with the first hour of this video finally coming to a close, I've come to my conclusion. So, finally, here is how much I farmed in an hour of Campus 4 farming, including sleep, hygiene, and hunger beforehand. I took a screenshot of my earnings before. I began with 820,160 diamonds, and I was on level 3,553. After an hour of Campus 4, I was at 840,112 diamonds, and I was on level 3,563. So this means that I got 19,952 diamonds and 10 levels within this hour. But for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to round that to 20k. So here is the Campus 4 rating to conclude this segment using our metrics mentioned prior. Levels completed, 10. Diamonds made, 20k. Fun level, 7 out of 10. I find Campus 4 to actually be quite fun and engaging when you're doing well or when you have friends around, but it'll get boring with time, hence why it's out of 7. But if you're just hoping to grind for 1 or 2 hours a day, Campus 4 is fun enough and quite effective when done right. Evidently. As for accessibility, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Campus 4 relies on being good at the lessons and being quick with quest doing. People with less experience or worse devices or bad Wi-Fi may struggle to keep up with the constant questing needed to maximize profits and may prefer more relaxed methods. Also, it can be quite laggy even on good devices. In the middle of filming this video, in the pool area, you can see me talking with people in the chat about lag because for some reason there was a massive lag spike during that lesson. So overall, Campus 4 gets a 9 out of 10 from me. It's a good farming method, it's fun, there's nothing too particularly bad about it besides the fact that you have to do a lot. I'm so tired of running around after that. Campus 4 requires so much attention. Maybe we should go for something a bit more chill. The rainy day classroom is the exact opposite of chill, but I'm procrastinating doing art, so here we are, welcome to the rainy day segment. Before even starting, I switched to my farming outfit, which I mentioned earlier, and I made sure to have in my inventory any interactable items for quests. And we're going to be starting in our usual way by completing hygiene, sleep, and hunger, since they don't go down in Campus 4, but they do go down in rainy day. Now, you might be watching this clip and wondering, Genesis, what the fuck are you doing? We just spent the past like 20 minutes of this video in Campus 4. Why are we back and why are we getting loads of food? Well, my friend, I'm grabbing trays of food because, again, unlike in Campus 4, hunger actually goes down and is key in leveling up. So instead of flooding my inventory with 80 snacks like most of you lunatics do, I just grab a few trays of food, since each includes 4 items with 5 bites each, which can fill your hunger all the way, the same as 4 snacks. It takes up less space and is way more efficient to eat, so I grabbed a few to last me in art class too, hence why this clip is kind of long. In terms of complaints, critiques, or just things that I like about rainy day, I like that you can have a conversation in there. There's a lot of people in there who are quite talkative. You can have a nice conversation with some people in rainy day, but you can also have arguments. I've had several arguments in rainy day, but most of those were when the rainy day champion quest still existed and everyone was fighting over who should get first because,
Oh, but I have the quest. Oh, but I'm farming. Oh, no, 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 no.
God's sake, just squealing. Obviously, no matter how pleasant my conversations were, and I did make some new friends in this segment, you can't really have that, like, stretched out of a conversation because you're gonna have to keep pausing every 5 minutes because you have to move to, you know, do the class. As for just, like, not complaining, the class is fairly entertaining. It gets your cortisol levels a bit high sometimes when you're in, like, the final two and the person against you is really fucking good and you keep twisting and turning around these corners and you're just begging, please don't make me stop on a corner because I'm about 2 morsels of EXP away from a level up. When I went into the rainy day classroom, I put the Royal Day filter on to try and help during the power cuts, but I ended up not doing shit because there was a power cut and guess what? It didn't work. I fucking lost. So that was useless, but that's besides the fact. I find rainy day fairly enjoyable, but it does take a bit of mind power and it is a bit mind-numbing after a while. But the XP reward is actually really, really good. I took a screenshot of one of the score sheets after a round of a pretty full server and I got 150 EXP for winning, which is a lot. But obviously you don't care about any of that bullshit. You want to know how much I actually made. And it's all great and all talking about what I like and what I dislike about this class, but in the end, if it doesn't make a lot of money, it doesn't matter. And it's not like Campus 4 where there is technique and ways to get better at this. You just have to be fast. You can try taking... I always have my heels off and I always keep a really simple outfit on. And I always do the clam crawl thing. I think it sometimes helps, doesn't always. So if you don't want to look like a twat, don't do that. But I find it helps sometimes. But yeah, with rainy day, it's not like Campus 4 where there's technique and you improve over time. Like, because you do, but a lot of the time it's just based on the people that are around you and how competitive everyone else is, and people tend to be really competitive in this. But no matter how high cortisol or how competitive this is, this can get really boring really, really quick because of how repetitive it is. At least Campus 4 has some changes. Rainy day is just the same thing over and over again. Drag a friend along and it might help. Well, when I halfway through, or when I had maybe like 60 minutes left, because I got a bit lazy and I was procrastinating, I was too busy in the class, sorry, I was having a very active conversation. I went to do my stats again, since they reset every, I think, 35 to 40 minutes. So, you know, went around, did my sleep, did my hygiene, and then trotted my ass right back. I did a few quests like brushing my teeth, and I think I also did bathroom break, just to, you know, fill in any EXP gaps that I might get from, you know, sticking around or sticking out of the class for like about 2 to 3ish minutes while doing my stats. And once it was over, it was time to calculate how much I had made. I began with 840,375 diamonds and I was on level 3,563. After an hour of rainy day classroom, I was at 855,744 and I was on level 3,571. This means that I got a total of 15,369 diamonds and I went up 8 levels. Maybe I should turn my Bridgerton down, I think I can kind of hear it in the background. Anyways, here is the final rainy day classroom rating to conclude the segment using our metrics mentioned prior. Levels completed 8, diamonds made 15.3k, fun level 7 out of 10. I find rainy day fun, but it gets boring quite quickly and can be really frustrating when you get out early and have to wait for the round to be finished before going again. Also, the, I suppose, only correct way would be hitboxes of the chairs can be varying and you can be stood on a chair but still not get on it, which is really annoying. So accessibility is going to be a 5 out of 10 since rainy day farming is successful but reliant on you being good at rainy day. If you aren't, you're not going to get a substantial amount of XP, or at least not an amount that justifies the effort that you go through for it. And it's not suitable for laggier players or people that may struggle with being fast, and it won't help you play as well. So overall, rainy day classroom gets a solid 6 out of 10 from me. Now here comes the one I've been dreading the most. It's not a secret. I'm not a big fan of art. In my opinion, it is mind-numbingly boring after maybe an hour and a half without music, a TV show or a movie in the back to sort of fill in the noise. It's borderline unplayable for me. However, I do find it very fun to play with a big circle of friends, or maybe even just 1 or 2. But again, I can't count that as a bonus since all of these methods are fun with friends, even if they get slightly less effective when you're distracted talking to your friend all the time. But unfortunately for me, art is a very popular way of grinding, so I will try it. Hopefully it'll be the last time I try it, and then I won't have to come back here for any desperate levels, since there'll be better methods. Just the same as, oh my god, I'm so sick. Just the same as with both methods, I did my sleep, hygiene, and hunger prior. Just as with rainy day, I kept several trays of food on me for hunger, and every 11 minutes I ate them, since your hunger depletes every 11 minutes. Art doesn't really require any specific like farming outfit or anything, since you just sit there and guess. It's easy and lazy and good for multitasking, but that's what makes it so boring, even if that's also what makes it so popular. Art class is similar to rainy day in the way that I can do inventory quests during, but there is also a sink at the back where certain bathroom related quests can be done, like sorting about the sink and brushing teeth, which is a plus, if anything, and then I do have to say that is pretty cool. Often when I found farming methods related to art, a lot of the people who were leading those farming methods said that you shouldn't bother to come up to draw, because if this is like a lazy farming method routine, quote unquote, but I like coming up to draw. I think it's fun, it adds to the fun of it, because besides it's really boring, and besides it gives you more XP, so I like coming up to draw. Now, surprisingly, the longer that I did art, the more I started to enjoy it. I came into art thinking I'm going to hate it, it's going to be the most grueling hour of my life, but it turns out it's actually not that bad. So I take back all of my critique and negative opinions of art. I actually think it's quite alright. You can have some really, really nice conversations in here. A lot of the pluses will be related to the people that go to these classes. I think that you can have really nice conversations in art. You can also have arguments, but I've had really pleasant conversations in art. During this video, I had a really nice conversation. I made a few friends again. It's just nice to be friendly, and there's loads of friendly people in art. So, and besides, there's some really good artists. After this round, we went, and one of the people showed me some of their art, like they'd have like posted up in their dorm. It was really, really cool. So thankfully, with art revolving around the chat as opposed to something like physical movement, you can have some really nice conversations while grinding, and that's part of the appeal, I guess, for most people. It's part of the appeal for me now. I grew to like this class over the hour that I spent there, and I'm quite surprised by that, because I thought I wouldn't. I've heard this said around before, but it is indeed the perfect lazy farming method. Not bother to actually go around and grind and spend hours doing something really, really active. Go do art. It's fairly effective. And speaking of effectiveness, here are the stats. Oh wow, magical change of scenery. I began with 855,813 diamonds and I was on level 3,571. After an hour of art class, I was at 872,996 and I was on level 3,580. This means I got 17,183 diamonds and I went up 9 levels. Here is the final art class rating to conclude this experiment, quote unquote, also using our metrics mentioned prior. Levels completed 9, diamonds made 17.1k, fun level 6 out of 10. Art class is unfortunately disgustingly boring for me to the point where it's only exactly fun if you have a show, music, a film or a friend to accompany you. Besides that, it's just insanely repetitive and just mind-numbing nothingness to do for hours on end. In accessibility, it's a 9 out of 10. Art class is easy as fuck, especially now when most of the time people just write the word on the board rather than drawing. There is an occasional troll or two or annoying people who break streaks, but that can always be fixed by just server hopping, and it's not like streaks really matter. And besides, they're rare and far in between. This was the easiest and laziest farming method in this entire video, whilst also remaining quite effective. Overall rating, despite starting off not liking it, art class gets an 8. So, after 3 hours of farming, over an hour of writing the script, like 4 hours spent editing, clipping and connecting clips or collecting clips for this video, we reach the final conclusion for this video's overrunning question. What is the best farming method? July 2026 edition. In third place, rainy day classroom. Effective, but less than the others and based on competition over anything else, making it both stressful and inaccessible for certain players. However, quite suitable for fast-paced quick thinkers and players who want to be active and present in their farming routines rather than passive. In second place, art class. Effective and lazy. Easy for passive farming and doesn't require full attention, however, quickly gets repetitive and boring and trolls may be present. Thankfully, they're rare and most of the time, it's pretty chill. And in first place, unsurprisingly, we see Campus 4. Effective and top earner in terms of XP and leveling, but also the most demanding in terms of tasks needed to gain sufficient XP. However, it's easy to wrap your head around after a while and gets easier with time. It's fun and without friends, it can get slightly repetitive and draining, but you get used to it. But now what? You might be thinking, why am I supposed to do this information? Am I supposed to choose one of these methods and stick to it because it's been dubbed the best? No, not at all. That's actually not the goal of this video whatsoever. The moral of the story is that everyone has their own preferences and will farm in whatever way suits them. Just through talking to people whilst making this video, I've discovered that lots of people don't care about diamond yield. They don't care about how many levels you make. They don't care how entertaining or accessible it is. They choose their favourite method because it works for them. And they're not bothered about making as much money as possible, but rather having fun and making money as a byproduct of said fun. So if one method isn't for you, try another. With so many different ways to make diamonds in this game, you'll certainly find a routine that works for you. This video isn't even to say that you can only stick to one of these routines, because their aspects can always be combined, and who knows, combining all of these methods may be the most effective method of them all. But I'm not testing that. I'm tired. I finished writing this script at 2:49 AM, planning to voice it all the following day, or rather morning, and have it posted before the 16th. For reference, it is the 14th today, so I guess I'm doing a pretty good job. We'll see if I manage, but for now, thank you for watching. And sorry for my absence, by the way. I kind of quit Royale High and came back again at the start of this year after finally getting unbanned from trading and finding my place back in the community. It's sort of nice to be back, but I've also finished my GCSEs now, so I have nothing to do. Maybe expect more posts, maybe don't. I don't know. For now, follow my TikTok on screen because you can definitely expect posts on there, and I suppose until next time, which hopefully won't be in 2 years' time. I'll try. Maybe. So, yeah, bye-bye.
Who is that man in my family that said I'll fail? Finish eating and come back again. Maybe your food is talking to you.